is that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year Award Program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport. Veriburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U-Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues du championnat U-Sport.
Hello and welcome to the U-Sports Women's Rugby Championship. We're having our first semifinal here, just about to get underway, with the Guelph Griffins in white on the left of your screen lining up here for the national anthem, who are taking on the UVic Vikes. My name is Paul George and I'm joined here in the booth with Amy Paget. And we're about to see our first semifinal today, Amy.
Yes, I'm super pumped. Both teams they've both showed pure passion and greatness in their quarterfinals. Both teams creating upsets. We first had the Vikes who upset seed number 1, the GGs from Ottawa, and then we had Guelph's upset against St. FX. So. Yeah.
Yes, it's nice to see, both these teams finished second to their respective conferences, Canada West and the Ontario University Athletics respectively. And so it's nice to see them here in the semifinals. It's been exciting. That's what we love about tournament rugby. There's always some surprises. So we have a good shot here of the Vikes in their multicolored, bit flamboyant jerseys. It's always fun to see the nice jerseys here. And of course they'll be on your right here in the blue and gold. So we're just lining up here for the national anthems. It's a cold day in Quebec City. We can still see a bit of snow on the ground in the background, but it's warmed up since Wednesday. So there was a few first half jitters from the Vikes in that first game. Maybe there's a bit of a cold shock from the real weather, real Canadian winter we're not always used to on the West Coast. And we're now moving forward as we get towards the first opening kickoff. Should mention that our officials today are Shonda Asmus, who will be running the show as referee, and she'll be sorted by Cam Russell and Jerome Levesque as assistant referees on the sidelines. And Felix Deviz will be running the technical area, helping us keep track of all the subs.
Thank you, Paul. Exactly, super excited.
And what sort of keys to the match are you looking to see here from these teams? I know that UVic had such a strong performance with their forwards, but I wasn't able to catch the Guelph game.
Yeah, well, from both teams, I'm expecting them really to use the field, going wide on both sides, using both the forwards, but also moving strong.
Well, thanks. We're going to be heading off to commercial break, but you'll be able to catch the opening kicking off here on CBC GEM. We're coming to you from Université Laval in Quebec City, and we'll see you after the break.
U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Peu importe à quoi ressemble votre vie, vous pouvez compter sur nous. Pour la vie comme vous la vivez. Assurance, placement, conseil. Canada Vie.
And we're back, just waiting to get underway here with the first semi-final of the U Sports Women's University Rugby Championships, coming to you from Université Laval in Quebec City. I think we're just waiting here for the referee to talk to the captains.
And the first semifinal is now underway. Seeing the first kick. Ball retrieved here by UVic. Big run already, but big tackle by number 4 from Guelph, Stephanie here. It's big house cast. And we're seeing here UVic taking their times here in the ruck. And a box kick here, number 9.
Yes, that's something that they use to their advantage a lot versus the GGs, that dangerous box kick coming over from Justine Blatt-Jean-Mat. And we can see that they're liking that option again.
And here we had a little knock on when trying to catch that ball for Guelph, so we're going to go with a scrum for UVic.
Yes, that's just why it's so dangerous. You put that receiver under pressure. They catch the ball in a bad position or make a mistake like that, you can capitalize on it.
And the ball is now in. Controlled scrum taken by UVic. A tackle by Guelph number 11, Maddie Hobson, almost bringing
1 meter.
the girl outside.
1 meter of a ruck.
And we're going to see here a penalty against Guelph.
Yes, if I understand correctly, they were engaging in that side there from that 1 meter zone of the ruck, so taking a bit of a chance and finding themselves on the other side of the law there. So UVic will be in attacking position. We saw some great work from their forwards against the GGs, and I think they'll be wanting to maul this ball forward.
And they went here, kick for touch on that penalty. So we will be seeing a line out from UVic. Good line out. The ball was cut back. Ball was called. Moving forward. And the ball is now out. We're seeing them here. UVic being super close to the try line. We're seeing here them going down. Guelph being able to stop them. UVic using their forwards back. Getting closer, and they're super close. Guelph holding the line. Probably just a few inches, and again, being just short of the line.
They've won the penalty there. Guelph being called, the Guelph hooker being called for for offside in that defensive line, which is just so hard to work back. So hard to work back and under pressure from the UVic forwards.
And we saw the referee going back to the advantage and then giving that penalty to Guelph. So I believe we're going to see UVic going for points here.
Yes, this could be the first points of the match. It's a very favorable position for Maggie McKinnon, who will be lined up pretty much in the middle.
Maggie McKinnon, who had a few kicks in the last game, also being named player of the game of Wednesday's game. Excited to see here if we can add 3 points to the scoring board. And it is good.
Yes, and early points for UVic. They've arrived in Guelph's red zone, come away with points. That's exactly what you want to see in a semifinal. You want to get out in front fast and keep ticking over points as we go forward.
Absolutely. And so the score is now 3 UVic, 0 Guelph.
Guelph hasn't had a lot of possession, but it's only been about 4 minutes of play, so they'll be fired up to try to turn this ball over and make their mark on the game.
And the ball is put into play. Caught here by UVic, just about the 40-yard line, stopped by Guelph. And we're seeing here number 9, Justine Blatt-Genmat, taking the time to do that box kick. And it's going to be caught by number 4 from Guelph, Stephanie Spikowskis.
Spikowskis did well there under a lot of pressure to absorb the hit, but looks like she's been penalized for holding onto that ball, not releasing, not letting UVic steal it. So once again, UVic in a dangerous position with this penalty. This is exactly like the beginning of the quarterfinal for them, with continued pressure just inside the opponent's half.
And so we're seeing here UVic going kick for touch. And pretty good kick, being able to bring that ball closer in the attacking zone.
Yes, it looks like they've just made it over the 22, maybe a meter or two over the 22. So strong attacking position for UVic and their forwards.
And we're seeing them here at the line out. And going for the maul.
Lots of pressure here on that maul, moving forward, those legs driving, earning the advantage there.
Great team effort. And we'll have a penalty called against Guelph.
I believe that's for a side entry into that maul, under pressure, trying to do whatever they can to stop it, but unfortunately not joining from the right side.
And we're going to see another line out, pretty close to the try line for UVic. And we're seeing here number 8 throwing that ball in, Maddie Jumo.
It's been disrupted but recovered, so not able to set the maul, but I think the forwards are ready with plan B.
Working super hard in there, forwards protecting their ball, but huge tackle by Guelph, and that counter ruck as well.
Yes, a beautiful counter ruck.
Number 7, Kennedy Feasby, really working hard. The third-year flanker.
And she's reaping the rewards of that now. It's a nice, forcing the knock-on by the Vikes, so it's Guelph possession just outside their 5-meter line. I believe this is the first scrum of the game. Always an important test for the forward pack.
I'm gonna escape this one.
I think we had one earlier, but yeah, still one of the first ones. They're still testing it out.
Exactly.
And the ball is now in. being played in there. I think Guelph still had it, but good pressure here applied by the Vikes. I think that was number 1 or number, yeah, I believe that was, might have been number 7. Kennedy Feasby again here, getting out of that scrum super fast, stopping it. And I believe we will now be seeing another kick for the Vikes.
McKinnon will want to stretch this lead out as much as she can, looking for easy points here. Unfortunately for the Guelph pack on their own put in, they were driven off the ball and penalized on the turnover. We saw against GG's Uvik puts up a strong pack, so they will be looking to exploit that today.
And it is good. Another 3 points added by Maggie McKinnon, making it Victoria 6, Guelph 0.
The beautiful game is in action next weekend with the Proto-Case Youth Sports Men's Soccer Championship presented by Bell from Cape Breton University in Sydney, Nova Scotia. You can watch exclusively on CBC Gem and cbcsports.ca.
Amazing, and we'll be back in the middle of the field. So ball is kicked by number 9 from Guelph. And here, ball went to the ground.
Knock forward into her own player.
Unfortunately, making it a knock-on for the Vikes. It will be a Guelph scrum.
Yes, you can hear the ref explaining. Just an unfortunate knock-on there. Sometimes hard to receive. We don't have a good shot of it on the camera, but you can see the flags behind. We can see from where we are, the flags behind the stadium are starting to pick up a bit. The wind is definitely starting to swirl. We know it was predicted to have a bit of rain maybe later on, so conditions may be getting a little bit tough for the girls out there.
We've seen the wind had a little impact in that second consolation semi-final. It's getting harder for both teams in the first half.
Yes, exactly. So temperature going down a bit. We're starting to get to real winter here in Quebec City, so going to maybe see some cold hands and some unfortunate mistakes.
And the scrum is now set. We have Guelph putting that ball into play. We're hearing the referee calling a few things, but the ball being recovered by Guelph. Good switch there by number 12, but tackled by the Vikes, who ended up earning that penalty.
Excellent tackle there. And again, another penalty for not releasing. Uvik is there so quickly to pounce on that ball and force Guelph to release it. And of course, when Guelph doesn't, if they're not in support, it turns into a penalty. Very well drilled defensively here.
And we're seeing them here just going for a kick. That it will be caught by Guelph. And quick tackled by Uvik. I believe that was number 5. Well, actually number 13, Lara Jorgensen. Good tackle there. And then good run here by number 7 from Guelph. Kennedy Feasby. And my apologies, it was number 13 from Uvik, so Lara right on that tackle earlier. And we're seeing here Guelph working super hard, using their forwards here, but huge tackle here by the Vikes.
Yes, the Vikes are starting to read this setup of punching back and forth with the forwards, and they've clearly put some key defensive players in the right spot to try to stop that energy.
And here, good offload off the fall from Guelph. They've been able to move forwards a little bit. Seeing here Guelph staying on their feet, but the Vikes being there. And a little kick. That will be going out of bounds at about the 47-yard line, and it will be a line out for the Vikes.
Well, that's a good change of flow for the Vikes. They've had some very aggressive, and if you can call it offensive defense in the last 5 minutes or so, and they're reaping the rewards of that now, being able to have the ball just inside Guelph's half. Guelph is going to have to work hard to overcome that aggressive defense if they're going to be able to put some points on the board.
And lineout was caught by UVic. Huge tackle here by number 7 from Guelph, Kennedy Feasby. And the Vikes here still in control of that ball, but we're seeing Guelph working hard to get it, counter-rucking.
But unfortunately, just illegally playing the ball, going through that ruck from an offside position, I believe. And once again, we see UVic with a penalty. And it's starting to be shades of the quarterfinal for UVic, winning most of these penalties here, keeping the ball in their opponent's half. And this time, McKinnon goes to touch to set up the lineup.
And we'll be ready for that line out for Victoria. Ball was retrieved.
Nice recovery there from the short throw. Didn't really make it to its target.
Absolutely an Avery champion taking that ball, be able to keep moving forward.
Keep an eye on that player, please.
And then UVic still working hard. Believe we saw number 10 in there, but we're now all the way on the right side.
No.
We've been seeing strong tackle by Guelphs as well.
I need to see your list, guys. Just give it a minute.
And they were able to earn that penalty.
Yes, good defense for first time in a while. It seems they've been able to earn the ruck penalty as opposed to concede it. The ref's just calling a quick pause here. Well, we mentioned that the men's soccer is coming up next weekend, but also the women's soccer. The best of women's university soccer is on display next weekend with U Sports at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. And of course, you can also watch that on cbcsports.ca and CBC Gem.
And we've just seen Guelphs going for a touch and pretty good kick.
Thank you.
About 25 yards kick. And we're seeing a line out from Guelph. They were able to get that ball. They're working here in a maul position. Pretty close to out of bounds, but they were able to retrieve that.
It's a bit dangerous there, but they've got the ball out into the midfield now.
And number 15 here going into contact, Gary Atkins.
No.
We're seeing number 12 protecting that ball.
Working hard to get to ground there, but every little meter counts as they push over into the UVic territory. Good heads-up play to pick that ball up before UVic could get hands on it.
We saw super quick tackle from Lara Wright. Unfortunately, there will be a penalty called against the Vikes.
Yeah, so two ruck penalties for UVic, and they find themselves moving more into their own zone. It's not somewhere they're used to playing in defensively in their own zone.
And then Guelph will use that penalty to go for a line out in their attacking zone, putting them in a good position.
Yes, this is a solid position for the line out. Lots of options on the table. But UVic is able to disrupt that, and Guelph responds in kind. Again, a huge response here from the Guelph forwards.
Number 5 working super hard.
Yes, Bernard working very hard there. Great heads-up play, and she takes the ball in again.
Stay here.
There's no rest here.
Good quick tackle here. And the Vikes were able to get that ball back.
That's lots of heads-up play by these forwards, seeming to check each other at every opportunity.
I believe that was number 4, Faith Tilley.
Faith Tilley has had a great tournament, the graduate of Citadel High in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And an unfortunate knock-on there.
We'll be seeing a Guelph scrum. And they're in a pretty good position, close to that 10-yard line.
I'm not a doctor, though.
So Canada's top university runners are heading to London, Ontario, and the historic Thames Valley Golf Course for the 2023 U Sports Men's and Women's Cross Country Championship on November 12th. The women's race will begin at noon Eastern Time, followed by the men's at 1 p.m. These cross country championships will be next Sunday, of course, exclusively on CBC Gem and cbcsports.ca.
And we are now ready for that scrum. Players are calling.
Cool. Yeah, just make sure it's clearly on the back, and I can't have you standing up at scrum time. Thanks.
And we have the referee clarifying a few things.
Yes, referee does not want to give penalties at the scrum. Referee wants to make sure that both teams are in a stable and safe position to have this battle of strength and technique.
Absolutely. We're seeing the scrum now. Well aligned, and the ball is put into play. And again, taken by Guelph. And number 15 here, running strong, Gary Atkins. Here, number 10 going strong, tackled by the Vikes.
And it's a great textbook turnover by the Vikes there. So unfortunate for the Griffins. They're just letting those players get just a little bit too ahead of the support. And UVic is punishing for them with these turnovers.
And the Vikes has been able to do this twice now, getting that turnover closer to the try line.
Yes, a lot of that work seemingly erased by the Griffins, but we can see how this changes back and forth so quickly. Going for the caterpillar ruck here to try to build that space for the box kick.
Again, good tackle here by the Vikes.
A lovely offload too by the second row.
Ball is now in Guelph's hand. Run by number 4. Good power tackle there by the Vikes. Again, we're seeing Guelph trying to break that line, but the Vikes being there, ready to tackle.
They're just getting up there so quickly, getting in the face and forcing decisions. Of course, when you have the ball, you want to be making the decisions, not being forced to make a decision by the defense.
We're seeing here
Brianna Marty taking that ball up very strong in the 17 jersey.
We've been seeing Lara Wright from the Vikes, number 13, working super hard to get back into place and tackling, and it's awesome to see.
And of course, the Vikes do love to have that box kick, and I think after that first scare that they gave the Griffins, they've been able to adapt really well. We've seen a couple times the forwards getting involved, like last reception, Svikaukis, second row, getting involved with the backs, using her height to secure that ball and set up a platform. Really nice to see that chess match between the two teams at this point.
Yes, and we saw the Vikes going for the line out, and we'll be ready for it.
Not straight.
Yeah. Of course, that when we throw the ball back in rugby, you have to have a fair contest between the two teams. That ball has to go right down the channel, and that's just a little mistake. Hopefully, Jumeau can put that behind her for the rest of the lineouts. But once again, possession switching back to Guelph just inside UVic's half.
I'm gonna hide behind you once the ball's in. Crouch!
We're seeing the referee talking to the forwards pack again, but we'll be ready for Guelph putting that ball into play. Ball is now in, and an 8-man pick here by Abby Auger.
Leave her.
Good heads-up rugby from Auger, keeping her feet and driving forward, giving her support time to get with her.
And here, good run by number 14, Holmes, taking that ball.
Yeah, Holmes just able to slip past the break in the defense, but once again, the strong ruck defense from UVic coming into play, turning over that ball and wiping the slate clean there.
And we're seeing UVic taking their time, making sure their team is well positioned. And number 9 going for that box kick, but it was covered.
Yes, it's hard to see who covered, but great heads-up rugby by that pair of forwards from the Griffins. They've definitely targeted. They know that the box kick is a weapon and they want to eliminate it.
I believe it was number 5, Barnard, really good pressure on that kick.
But of course, we see another box kick and some desperate scramble defense by the Griffins to get back there. And unfortunately for them, they hold on, but UVic will be very happy with that sequence of events. It is still 6-0 UVic versus the Griffins. We can see here this replay. The box kick coming. And just a wall like volleyball stopping that ball from coming through.
Barnard really getting there, getting that ball. And we'll be seeing a UVic line out.
Well, after some early points by UVic, the match is starting to even out. Hopefully for the Griffins, they'll be able to capitalize on some of these chances as we move towards halftime. UVic with possession here.
We've seen great runs with an offload, almost going on the ground, but getting that ball and the support coming in super quickly for Victoria. Good positive tackle here by Guelph. Both teams being super quick on the defensive line. Good passes here. Good run here, I believe, by...
No. She grabbed her shoulder. It's fine. Leave her.
I believe by Ellie Douglas, staying up.
Vike down, receiving some attention in the background, but play will carry on as long as the ball does not go near her.
Again here, number 13, Lara Wright, working super hard to stay on her feet. Good tackle, again, super quick by Guelph. That was number 6, Emily Clark. We're still almost in the middle of the field, and we have a kick here from Guelph. I think that was number 10, Maddie Mäkinen.
I see you. Thank you.
We stop play as it gets a little bit too close to the down player. You mentioned, Amy, positive tackling.
Yes.
Can you walk us through that from a defensive perspective?
Absolutely. It's always great when you are on defense, and when you're tackling, you're bringing the girl backwards. So you're really moving forward, so you're gaining space as a defending player. So always super awesome when we see positive tackle.
As soon as I turned around, I was like, I bet you that's what
CBC TV is your home for the 2023 Canada Life Vanier Cup from Kingston, Ontario. Catch the best in university football action Saturday, November 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBC TV, CBC Gem, and cbcsports.ca.
Thank you, Paul. And we're now on a short pause here for that Vikes player who was unfortunately down.
Yes, just having both teams taking this moment to discuss. We might see a sub happen, but we see some of the players on the bench starting to take off their jackets and move around, warm up. It is cold, as we mentioned. Yes, and as you say, Amy, that offensive tackling is just such a dangerous weapon. We saw it in some of the consolation matches, teams getting pushed backwards despite having the ball. We do have a change coming here for the Vikes.
I believe it was number 23, Hadley McPherson, getting in.
Yes, it looks like McPherson has joined, and as we wait here, hopefully the down player is not in too bad a shape, but just needs to take a best.
Yeah, we've been seeing like super great defense there.
So we can see here our semifinal combinations for tonight: Vikes versus Griffins, both second place in their respective divisions, and Queens, the OUA champions, taking on the second place Res Q finalists, U Laval, who had a thrilling match here against the Thunderbirds in their quarterfinal. So a lot to play for today as we move towards this final day of the U Sports Championships.
And we can see 3 of the 4 semifinalists were actually upsets in this.
Yes, the lower seed moving forward and advancing.
And we're now seeing the player who was on the ground walking to the bench.
Well, that's always a good sign, walking off. Arm in a sling, but all the same under her own power, so sure the crowd's giving her a round of applause as she goes to receive some more treatment. Of course, another part of this U Sports Championships, it brings together all 4 Canadian varsity sports conferences. So Guelph and UVic have never met before in a regular game, so they're still trying to figure each other out and build those adaptations to each other, and we can see Guelph responding well to that box kick weapon for sure.
Absolutely. And I believe we saw Ellie Douglas coming off, and again, number 23, Hadley McPherson getting in. Excited to see what those first subs can bring in the game.
Yes, just before halftime.
And we are now back. We had a scrum from Guelph. We're able to get that ball, and they ended up kicking that ball out of bounds. And we'll be seeing a UVic line out.
Yes, a UVic line out just inside. Of course, for those of you watching at home, it might be a little bit hard to follow with the football lines on the field. Those yard markers are not always important in rugby, but they help us keep track of the ball today.
Absolutely, and we're using the yellow lines as the out-of-bounds line here, but still using the rugby marks that are in black on the field here.
Yes, it's new turf here at Stade Telus at Université de Laval.
And we're seeing here Guelph trying to get that ball out of the ruck, but I believe number 8 from UVic, Maddie Jumeau, working hard in that counter ruck.
Well, it looks like...
Your first turnover was good, but then it's holding.
Yeah, so Jumeau, perhaps the second player working very hard, but holding on to the other player, holding on to that ball, so that still goes to a Guelph penalty.
And we'll see them going for the line out again. Good kick. And that kick brought them just inside their attacking zone. And we'll see a Guelph line out.
Just inside UVic's half. Guelph has been able to get into that red zone, but they've not been able to capitalize on their possession.
I believe Guelph just lost that ball, recovered by UVic.
Yep, knocked forward in the line there, so these are the type of small mistakes that Guelph are going to need to...
Oh, and we're seeing here knock on by the Vikes.
We'll go back.
But we might be going back to the advantage here.
Yes, no advantage coming. Guelph's going to need to tighten up these little mistakes if they're going to have a chance to put points on the board. Just one try will bring this game completely into a different level of competition.
Absolutely. We've been seeing both teams staying in the middle of the field, both defense being super strong, putting pressure, and then this is what can lead to mistakes sometimes.
Yes.
And the ball is now put into play by the Vikes, who were able to get that ball. And I believe that was number 8 going with the pick. Maddie Jumeau.
I'm not so still.
The Vikes still in control of that ball. Good run, staying on her feet. I believe that was 13 Lara, right?
Well, it was great work to keep that leg drive going.
And we're seeing here the tackle is right on when the ball was caught. Number 11, Maddie Hobson.
Hobson reading that pass very well and forcing that pressure to make the turnover. Now it'll be up to the Griffins forward pack to tighten the screws here and get that ball back right on the center line.
And we're seeing Guelph's number 10 trying to go for touch, I believe, but the ball is just staying into play.
Yeah, just a lack of concentration there.
So recovered by the Vikes.
These things happen, but very unfortunate in the semifinal.
Yes, and we're seeing here the Vikes protecting their ball, being able to give some time for a number 9 who's doing a box kick here. Caught by number 4 from Guelph, though, Stephanie Swarkowskis.
She's taking up that space, and when you have a dynamic forward like that who can really hold their own in the contact, it helps helps build that platform for a return.
And good movement here from Guelph. Unfortunately, the ball went down. They were able to recover it, but super close to the outside line.
Yeah, UVic just forcing Guelph back and back, despite Guelph working hard to maintain possession. They really need to start piercing that line.
Oh, and that was a really good tackle here. I think, again, number 13, Lara Wright. Really great tackler, at least in this game. It's been awesome to see. Some steps here by Guelph, but still stopped by UVic. And we're going to go for that skip pass. And that stiff arm as well.
Stiff arm, great work. Lucky there, winger not to be called for making contact a bit too high in the tackle, but
really good effort by number 4 from Guelph, Stephanie Swarkowskis again.
She's been working very hard, covering a lot of space today. And once again, Guelph rewarded with the penalty. So we're into the dying minute of the first half.
Scrum, please.
And we have Guelph going for that scrum.
An interesting option. Center field attacking scrum is a powerful option, but it is quite literally the center of the field.
Yeah.
A lot of work to do on this last play.
And as we saw in other games, when it's a middle scrum, you can really attack from both sides, and they can be super hard to defend.
Yes, it's a forcing the defense to maybe load the wrong side and exploit that option, but as we say, it's the middle of the field, so there's 50 meters to go.
We'll see how Guelph use that advantage. And Guelph got that ball. Quick tackle here. I think that might have been from the from the 7th from UVic. Ogurek.
It was a solid pick, but unfortunately looking to execute a move that there was a little bit of miscommunication, or maybe the very aggressive defense from UVic getting in their way. So UVic's able to recover this. Of course, we're now in the extra time, but as this is a penalty for UVic. Yes, well,
They
she
went
shows
quick for touch, but then kicking it outside.
Yes, she's tapped it to make sure that this ball is dead. So that's been the first half. It is 6-0 for the Vikes. We'll be coming back to you for the U Sports Rugby Women's Rugby Championship halftime show.
One of my players just didn't want me to ask you to watch out. Oh, beyond how many examples? Oh, okay, I just got cool. That's not
Hey you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Peu importe à quoi ressemble votre vie, vous pouvez compter sur nous. Pour la vie comme vous la vivez. Assurance, placement, conseil. Canada Vie.
Every year, U Sports honors top Canadian student athletes in every sport. Here are the nominees and the winner of the 2023 U Sports Rugby Community Service Award.
Les nominés dans la catégorie de l'engagement communautaire sont: the nominees for the Student Athlete Community Service Award are from the AUS du sport universitaire de l'Atlantique, Centre de l'Université Saint-Francis-Xavier, St. FX University Center, Catherine Culligan. Du réseau du sport étudiant du Québec, from the RSEQ, Concordia University Forward, avant pour l'Université Concordia, Anisha Anley. From the OUA, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario, Brock University Back, arrière pour l'Université Brock, Lily Freiberger. And from Canada West, de l'Association Ouest Canadienne, University of Victoria Prop, la pilier de l'Université de Victoria, Soleil Brooks. The 2023 U Sports Women's Rugby Student Athlete Community Service Award winner is la lauréate du prix de l'engagement communautaire U Sport est Soleil Brooks, University of Victoria.
Peu importe à quoi ressemble votre vie, vous pouvez compter sur nous. Pour la vie comme vous la vivez. Assurance, placement, conseil. Canada Vie.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Hey you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team. U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year Award program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U Sport. Veriburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues du championnat U Sport.
Hello and welcome back to this first semifinal of the U Sports Women's Rugby Championship here at Stade Talus, Université Laval in Quebec City. My name is Paul George and I'm with Amy Paget, and we've just been seeing a great first half of rugby between the Guelph Griffins in white and UVic in the blue and gold.
Absolutely. The score is at 6 for Victoria, 0 for Guelph. We've seen both teams working super hard. Most of the time was spent in the middle of the field. Both teams were attacking strong, but also defending super strong.
Yes, as you mentioned, Amy, a lot of positive tackling, a lot of aggressive defense, pushing each other back. Still some things to tighten up, though, especially for the Griffins if they want to sneak away here against the Vikes.
Definitely, and there's still a chance for sure. We've seen 2 kicks from the Vikes, bringing it to 6 points, but we are still waiting for the first try.
Yeah, still waiting for the first try. For those of you new to rugby, this is a bit what we call championship rugby, tactical rugby, getting down to into the opponent's zone, taking penalty kicks, getting those points and taking them over. So you see here, waiting for the opening kickoff.
Are we ready for that second half of that first semi-final of the championship?
A good look at the UVic jersey there.
Again, both teams winning their quarterfinals, kind of like as a surprise.
Yeah, both teams finishing second in their respective conferences, Guelph in the OUA and UVic in Can West. But both putting on strong performances in the opening round here to upset their upper seed adversary. So we'll see this match getting underway soon with the referee just coordinating with her officials. And of course, this is our third match of the day. We had our 2 consolation semifinals, and the final match will be Queens versus U Laval, coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern here on CBC Jam. So just a little bit of time, we can see some of these players. The wind's starting to pick up, and they're all getting set.
Are you good to go, Natalie?
And we've just heard the sound. Referee asking both captains, and I think we'll be good to go. So UVic putting that ball into play.
Yes, Shonda Asmus whistling the game to start as she in the green in the middle there.
And we've had Guelph getting that ball in there. And we're going to see a penalty awarded here to UVic.
I missed what that was. But I don't think there's much of a surprise to see the T come out from McKinnon.
Exactly.
Strong kicking position here. We're under the lights.
As you mentioned, tactical rugby here, getting closer to the try line, and we're seeing Victoria going it for a potential 3 points.
Yep, they're going to just want to tick those points over, just inch away from Guelph and conserve that energy instead of fighting that way to the line. Just take the 3 points and reset. We can see in the stadium more and more people starting to fill into the stands. Of course, we had a record-breaking evening with U Laval versus UBC, the most attended women's university sport in the province of Quebec. That match.
10 seconds,
be interesting
please.
to see if we can get those numbers again tonight, but a great moment for sport here.
Yeah, and on that, the kick was good. So here we're seeing Uvik adding another 3 points to the scoreboard, making it Victoria 9, Guelph 0.
Guelph running back here. They don't want to waste any time. They want to get chances to recover the ball, especially in Uvik's territory.
And that was a good kick by number 10, Maddie Mäkinen, who is 3 on 3 today.
Yes, she had a little bit of a warm-up, and that tackle is deemed legal, so no penalty, no advantage coming.
But it was a good ball. Yeah, caught by number 2, I believe, Nicole Gam.
And we can see Uvik using that caterpillar ruck, as we call it, to lengthen the ruck. That's a lot of experience coming from Uvik. They have a lot of players involved in the Canada development programs in Victoria. So they're learning these tricks of the trade that maybe aren't as common elsewhere.
And we saw here that box kick that Guelph tried to catch, but unfortunately a little knock on, and we're going to be seeing a Uvik scrum.
Of course, that box kick is just going to get more and more dangerous as we're playing under the lights. It's a bit easier to lose that high ball.
I think we might see a few subs coming in for Guelph. We're seeing players warming up on the side.
Yeah, she just slipped. We're just going to reset.
And I think we might have actually had one, or one that's coming pretty soon.
Yes, see some players warming up on both teams, but Guelph players entering the technical zone, waiting to be ushered in by the officials.
And the ball is now in play. And we're seeing Uvik getting that ball. Number 10, working super hard, Maddie Mäkinen. And then we're seeing a kick that will be bouncing out of bounds, unfortunately.
There's a good option there, but just sliced on the kick. And yes, we are seeing a change for the Griffins. Number 3, Jillian Bernard Jardine is coming in for Brianna Marty. They had a late minute switch. Oh, no, it does not look like it's Marty coming out. But just wait to see what the number is here.
Thank you.
In fact, she is coming in for Madeline Di Girolamo. So fresh legs in the front row for Guelph.
And we'll be here for a scrum.
That's okay.
I believe, for Uvik.
Yep, not coming out of that maul there. Strong defense from the forwards. You can see more and more players starting to warm up. There's going to be a lot of tactical subs being made.
And almost ready for the ball to be in. And the scrum, so it's in. Both teams are pushing, and we have an 8-man pick here. Good run by number 8, Maddie Jumeau. And then number 5 as well, Avery Champion, breaking that line for Uvik. And again, another good run here. Moving forward, I wasn't able to see who that was, but
yeah, the Uvik forwards are really working hard here, gaining the hard yards in the middle of the field and setting up this position.
And another box kick, which will be caught by Guelph's number 12, Douglas.
Douglas does a lovely offload there. And, well, good heads-up rugby from the 9 to get that penalty. Uvik caught offside and interfering with the play. Quick tap, pushing Uvik on the back foot.
And that might have been another player than the 12th. We saw the 12th going out of the game earlier.
Yes, they did have a shortage of jerseys for the Griffins, so there might be some changes that we've missed here, recycling the jerseys. A well-earned penalty here, right in front of the posts. Of course, they might not have enough time to take the penalty kick. It's a tough decision for the captain.
Decision, please.
We'll listen in here.
No, not a scrum. They're gonna play. Let's have it now, please.
So they decided to tap the ball and go. A bit disconnected there. Yeah.
Here we're hearing the whistle.
Bit of panic maybe in the Griffins line, trying to figure out what the best decision is. Of course, penalty in the middle of the field, you want to be able to capitalize on it, and unfortunately, they've lost possession in the tackle.
Just a little bit more to the left. I'm gonna blow this space a bit more. Thank you. I'm gonna exit.
And we'll be seeing a UVic scrum. And got by UVic. That was a quick tackle, but I believe number 5, Barnard from Guelph. And we're seeing UVic taking their time, aligning everything correctly. And number 9 going with that box kick. And then Guelph trying to catch that ball. And we're still able to recover it. And we're seeing Guelph attacking number 2, Taylor McKnight. Working super hard. Number 3, Brianna Marty. Going strong.
Yeah, a bit more energy coming from the Griffins here.
Number 12 as well. We're seeing Lavallee.
But a quick turnover by the Vikes.
And I think that's the scrum half.
Yeah, running out of gas, trying to build time for the support to get there. Great heads-up play.
Justine Blatt, Janmat really working hard here.
And just like that.
Changing that momentum.
Yeah, Griffins going from being in the ascendancy to on the back foot.
Unfortunately, that's going to be called a forward pass. So we'll be seeing a Guelph.
So we can see here 12. The Griffins taking the ball up, but just some great rip there to steal the ball and put it into space.
Really good job by UVic's number 9, running all the way.
She'll be keeping that in the personal highlight reel in her memories.
Definitely.
I'm gonna escape.
So during that time, we've had a change.
And we're seeing a Guelph scrum.
We've had one change for the Griffins. Number 6,
Emily Clark.
Emily Clark is off the field. And
I believe we've had 16 coming in.
yes, I think that's it. Alexis Burby coming in there.
Guelph keeping that ball. Again, we've said it before, both teams staying in the middle of the field, really working hard on offense, but also on defense. Number 14 working super hard with that ball. Holmes there, but being stopped by UVic's number 10, Maggie McKinnon.
Yeah, McKinnon just putting a little extra effort there, flipping her Holmes's legs out of bounds. Fortunate end to that nice little sequence of play for the Griffins. But of course, great for the Vikes.
And with that ball going out of bounds, we'll see a Vikes line out. which is caught there and good.
Well, yeah, that looked like it wasn't straight, but the ref says play on, and that's what we're doing. But unfortunately, that maul has become detached. You can't run like a battering ram like that. So
Guelph is going to go quick touch. Number 9, Natalie Armitage, going super quick after that penalty, but
You dropped the ball.
we will see a knock on there.
Martley, unfortunate, put in a position. I'm not sure she was ready for that pass.
Knock on, a clear and obvious knock on. This isn't up for debate.
You can hear referee saying
You
enough
guys
for
field away,
any
and
talk
somebody's
back.
in front of the ball. You trip. Yeah.
And
If the ball's at the front, there's no problem.
she sets up for the scrum.
And so we'll be ready for
Somebody
a
was trying to
UVic
go,
scrum.
but it's all good.
Well, we're seeing this swing back and forth, these big shifts in momentum. I think whoever scores next is going to be in a prime position to finish out this game.
Absolutely excited to see where this will go. And we're seeing here ball that went out super quick to the back. And then here number 5, Avery Champion, going into contact, being protected by other forwards. And again, the 9 going with that box kick.
And it's very well read by the Griffins. We just saw 3 or 4 break off from the line to cover that space. They are definitely practicing this defense.
Yeah, and caught by number 15, Gary Atkins, and then using that catch to go full momentum with that speed.
Yeah, now it's, as we say, there's a shift in momentum here with Guelph pushing forward, but once again.
Saw the ball going to the ground.
And unfortunately, it's a penalty because that knock-on was played by a Griffin in the offside position. You can see a few subs getting ready to come in.
For the Vikes as well.
Soleil Brooks is, oh, she's called back. She's ready to go, though. Of course, has to wait till after the penalty option is made.
And we're seeing here Vikes going again.
Yep.
Kick for touch.
Time off, please. There's some
And we'll be ready for a substitution.
So Soleil Brooks making it onto the field. Of course, as you saw, she won the U Sports Community Service Award, and this is her 2nd time winning that award.
And we also saw for Guelph number 22 coming on, Abigail Anderson.
One step in, please. Thanks. Time back on, please. Are you the 9?
Job well done for the Vike there.
And we had number 14 for Guelph coming off, Adelaide Holmes. Holmes who had a really great game.
Vantage. Entry.
Coming in from the side from the Griffins there. They've illegally entered that maul, so UVic is able to get the advantage.
The chaser's onside.
I think for UVic, we saw number 1 coming off,
And
Quinn Murphy.
we go back here to a penalty.
Entry.
Well, the best of women's university soccer will be on display next weekend with the U Sports Women's Soccer Championship coming from Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. You can buy tickets to watch in person, or if you're like us and stuck away from Ontario, you can watch on cbcsports.ca and CBC Gem.
Thank you. And on that, we saw at the end of the field a kick for touch, and we'll be seeing a UVic line out shortly. And the ball went into play, caught by UVic, going for the maul.
Such a strong maul. So hard to defend that momentum.
He's still on there. Playing super quick. Seeing here, and we have that support. That's with them going for that skip pass. Number 14, Emily Findlay, running hard. Going into contact, stopped by Guelph.
Great fingertip catch by Finlay there. Despite the cold, she's definitely got warm hands.
We're seeing the ball here on being protected. Again, UVic going into that contact. Stopped by Guelph, and Guelph putting that effort in the counter ruck.
Yeah, they're really trying to disrupt this possession here.
Yeah, number 2 and number 4 going super hard.
And they've been able to disrupt the pass there. It's gone further back than expected, a bouncing ball.
And still UVic's ball just past the 20 yards line.
Some Vikes slow to get up. High up and under.
We're seeing a kick that went to the ground but then caught by Guelph. So ball recovered by Guelph, and they're going super quick on the side with the kick.
Oh, wow.
Good effort here
Very
by Guelph.
lovely bounce there. Guelph able to recover possession as it's been touched by Vikes. We're waiting to see if that's confirmed, but just at the edge of half, you can see number 19 from the Griffins coming in here.
Caswell coming in.
Can we do They're just getting a quick patch up. Yeah.
We're seeing
It's number 4.
Sverkowskis coming off.
Sverkowskis has had such a big game, and we also see another, one of the Griffins being helped off the sideline by support staff. So we see number 23, Madeline
Ryan
coming
coming in.
The back's getting attention.
And we're seeing a UVic players getting a touch up.
Yes, it's a rugby, of course, is sometimes a little rough. A little quick tape job, stop anything, stop any blood, and keep play going.
We definitely appreciate the physios in this situation.
Always nice to have a fashionable headband.
Finlay getting that touch up, being ready to be back on the field. And we'll shortly be ready for that Guelph's line out.
Yep. Guelph doing so well to turn over that ball. That nice bounce of that sniping kick in there. So they just need to get the ball in UVic's half.
Seeing big movement hit with the trick play passing to the first player here.
Yeah, that's sometimes a risky move, but it seems to, unfortunate, so well executed, but the strong ruck defense from Vikes are able to turn that ball over. How unfortunate for the Griffins.
Yeah, and the Vikes are gonna get that, well, they're gonna get rewarded with that penalty.
Yeah, it looks like it was offside by the Griffins. They're just starting to maybe lose a bit of focus as they try to recover possession and get back in this game. Of course, it's only 9-0. That's 3 penalty kicks for the Vikes. As we say, it's championship rugby there. They don't mind not scoring in the corner, not scoring the try. They just want the points.
And unfortunately, we're seeing a Vikes player on the ground.
If it's a cramp, can we continue? Are you happy with that?
Number 4.
Okay, let's go.
And we see your backup walking.
Tilly, business student from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Playing the 9 offside.
Back in the game. Might have been a cramp.
Yeah,
And we're going to see the Vikes
of course.
going for the line out.
These players are going to want to finish the game out and give it their all, but there's another day of competition after this. So coaches may be starting to think a bit strategically as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can put yourself wherever.
And we'll be ready for that line out. And line out that went over, recovered by Guelph.
Yeah, it's a lot of ebb and flow in this game.
And here, Guelph's forwards working hard to keep that ball, and they are gonna get
the penalty. I wonder what they'll decide. Guelph's made some, well, they've tried to tap and go again. I feel like Guelph might be a bit intimidated by the skills shown by UVic's forwards in the set pieces.
And we're seeing here Guelph playing super fast. Number 9, Nally Armitage going super fast, but
High tackle.
A lovely pop out the side, turning into an advantage for a high tackle by that desperate UVic defense.
we're seeing them getting super fast at being ready to play again.
Driving forward by Martley there.
Super good. We see UVic trying to defend, and that stiff arm here.
Another advantage.
They are protecting that ball, moving quick,
Forwards.
trying to break, and really good spin move here.
Great leg work.
Number 16, Alexis Busby.
Rewarded with the penalty right in front of the post. Oh, no, excuse. A bit further away on that short side. Again, they've tapped and gone for the last couple, and that's exactly what they do again.
And big run here, but also big tackle. At least we were able to stop the player from moving. Oh, and unfortunately knock on, but recovered by the Vikes.
Well, it's just a lack of execution, it seems. Both teams are guilty of it, but Guelph has had just a few more lapses than the Vikes, and that's why the score remains 9-0. But what lovely attacking play off those quick taps, looking for the expansive play.
We're seeing subs coming in. I believe we're seeing number 20, Piper Walsh, new Vikes.
CBC TV is your home for the 2023 Canada Life Vanier Cup from Kingston, Ontario. Catch the best in university football action Saturday, November 25th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBC TV, CBC Gem, and cbcsports.ca.
Thank you so much, Paul. We saw 2 subs for the Vikes. I believe one that was number 20, Piper Walsh, as I said, coming in for Avery Champion. And we've had another one. I believe that was number 3 coming off, Zoe Williams.
Avery Champion in her final year of eligibility. I think she'll be enjoying this moment, having done her job for the day.
And we also saw a sub for the Guelph, but they're getting super close to the line. And I believe we're going to see, we just saw a held up.
Well, wow, it's so quick. We turn away for 1 second and Guelph's on the line. That's just the way that it is this day. Guelph, of course, not backing down. They need 2 tries to go ahead. The dropout, of course, this is a newer rule modification that's come into rugby recently.
And it will be caught by Guelph's number 16, Alexis Busby.
Busby doing well under a barrage of Vikes there.
And Guelph still has that ball, using forwards to trying to break the line. I think that was number 9 from UVic being super quick on those counter rucks. Justine Blatt, Chan Matt. But the ball is still in Guelph's hands.
Move.
And still a lot of movement. Both.
And another penalty earned. That's a lot of penalties for the Vikes in their half.
We're seeing Guelph's going again with that quick tap.
They've decided they can't risk having the 3 points. They need the tries. So far, always stop short.
And we're seeing them again playing super fast, trying to flow in that momentum. We're seeing the backs here all set up and resetting up. They're getting closer to the touchline. And here, good tackle by the Vikes back to back. I think that's our number 8, Maddie Jumeau.
Great positive tackles, as you said earlier, pushing the Griffins back and forcing that turnover.
Absolutely, and we saw those back-to-back. It's awesome to see a player getting back up after a tackle and heading another one.
Yes, it's what the defensive coaches love to see. It's what the coaching staff will be happy to see. A good takeaway from this game here.
And I think here we had a quick knock on.
Yes, just under that pressure there, forcing the knock on.
And we're hearing the referee talking to the front rows, but we'll be seeing a UVic scrum.
Yep, wanting to make sure with the new subs that everyone's on the same page.
And that was a good fake, and then we're seeing UVic here. Big run.
Yeah,
oh my God, we're working here. The legs are on.
Yeah, great shimmy, great dummy. Really destabilizing the Griffins defense. And UVic winning that
Earning
penalty.
that penalty.
Diving in, trying to seal that ball off. Of course, that's not allowed. Yes. We'll just
such a good run. We're seeing the replay here with the fake, and then
great leg drive, and
few players were on there.
Everyone trying to seal the ball up to stop that offload option instead of focusing on the tackle. Sometimes it's a hard decision to make as a defender, and that leg drive just punishing them for it.
Such a good run by Lara, right? Who was able to get out of all of those Guelph players.
I feel like Wright might be in contention for UVic's player of the match this evening.
We're seeing here they were able to go kick for touch and getting super close to that try line. It's a really good team effort, and they're going to go for a maul. UVic here trying to push.
Forwards working together. Brought down illegally by the Griffins, so it's another advantage.
We're seeing here UVic's taking their time, using their forwards to move.
Yes, they have the advantage. They want to set something up.
They're working super hard again.
Lots of space on the far wing there. UVic starting to slot players in, but the ball is not coming. Choosing to go back the other way.
And we're seeing we're getting super close. Is that going to be good? And it will be a try for UVic. Such a great team effort. We saw them. That was awesome to see coming back from that whole run. And then the forwards working together. And we saw here passing back to the backs.
Out to the winger there, Emmy Pierce supporting, making the decision to pull out, make the space, and she just in the right space. The Griffins aren't able to cover her. Quick up to celebrate it.
Such a good team effort that will bring the score to UVic 14, Guelph 0, and we'll be waiting on that conversion to see if we can add an extra 2 points.
Yes, the time is still ticking over here. It's 14-0, but boy, does it not feel that way. If you understand what I mean. If you play rugby, you might understand what I mean. We've been seeing a lot of back and forth, ebb and flow of the game, but it's just been the Vikes that have been able to just translate that into points. I believe we're seeing a few changes potentially happening.
And seems like a good conversion. So Maggie Mackinnon being able to add another 2 points for the team.
Yeah,
bringing the score 16, Victoria Guelph 0.
McKinnon calm and under control there. We can see one change here highlighted with some of these players who are feeling it right now. That second row combination has been subbed out, so that looks like Faith Tilly and of course has already been subbed out, but of course Avery Champion as well.
And we're seeing from Guelph, number 8 coming off, Abby Auger. Number 10, Grace Jacqueline. With fresh legs coming in. We have...
Oh, and it's looks like it was lost forward there by the Vikes. Quick turnover by the Griffins. Good heads-up rugby.
The previous knock-on.
And for Guelph, we now have number 21 on the field, Peyton Brown. Number 22, Abigail Anderson. And I believe we also saw a sub from UVic.
Yes,
Number 4, as you said, Faith Tilly coming off earlier. And we'll be ready for a Guelph scrum. In their attacking half, but still at about the 35-yard line.
see.
And we have a kick here.
A bold
from
kick
Guelph.
here. Yeah.
The ball that's going to go in the zone. And we're seeing number 22 from Guelph working super hard, getting that speed and rushing.
Just tapped down, so it'll be a dropout here. We're seeing some potential changes on the Griffins. It looks as though maybe a jersey's being recycled. It's hard to tell. Number 4 warming up. Of course, number 4 has already been subbed out.
Seeing here they're attacking. I believe that was number 19 passing on to 21 and then to 15, Gary Atkins getting into contact, and we're all the way at the on the right side of the field.
Great leg drive from Martley, earning the advantage as well. Oh, no, the advantage going the other way in the end. Yes, we do see 2 of the Griffins subs warming up, but they are wearing their teammates' jerseys. 10 and 4 coming back in soon, I believe.
And we might have another sub from UVic as well. In the meantime, we're seeing UVic using that penalty to go for the line out at about the 25-yard line. And we're hearing the referee calling the subs in. So I believe we're seeing number 19 and 21 from UVic. Emma Grotendorst and Celia Proby walking in, well, actually running in, as well as number 24, Kaylee Bellows. It's all for UVic. And we're seeing a few subs from Guelph as well. Number 15 coming off, Gary Atkins. Great game. Number 9 as well, Natalie Armitage. And for UVic, we saw number 11 coming off, Emmy Pierce. And a few other players. And for Guelph, we also saw number 7, Kennedy Feasby, running out of the field.
Of course, we're entering the final minutes of this game. 16-0, UVic in position here to go on to our final on Sunday. Of course, the tournament is not over for the Griffins either. They will be slotted into the bronze medal game that will come to you just before the finals on Sunday afternoon. So, of course, they're going to want to be finishing this game with a bit of momentum and their heads held high.
We're seeing here Guelph with that ball. We saw, I believe, number 22, Abigail Anderson, again, breaking that line. And then here, number 23, Madeline Ryan, keeping that ball, going into contact, and really UVic's there to defend. And we also saw from UVic, number 6 coming off the field. Regan Casey, really good game as well.
Yes, we're getting close to the end here. I'm sure the committee will be thinking about the players of the match. I know we've highlighted a few players putting together a lot of team efforts, and I think it'll be a tough decision for them today.
We're seeing here the ball went to the ground, recovered by Guelph, and then again stopped by UVic. They were able to get the penalty.
UVic getting the penalty, perhaps not. Yeah, not releasing the ball there. Griffin's desperate to keep possession, but the dying minutes here, it'll be interesting to see what choice they make, whether they want to play it out and give their last sub who's coming on.
Seeing number 22, Gwenny Fry, coming in for UVic.
Choosing to go for points here. Probably, I think, the most long distance kick for McKinnon tonight.
Definitely.
Perhaps looking to get some more practice in before the final.
3 and 3 so far, though.
Yep.
Really good kicks. And I believe for the Vikes, we saw number 9 coming off. Justine Blatt, Jan Matt, who also had great game. And we're waiting for that kick from number 10, Maggie McKinnon. And will we be adding 3 points? Just short, unfortunately. Caught by Guelph, and we're back in the game.
Now in extra time for this game. Griffins pinned into their 22. It's a long march to the UVic line, but I think they'll want to finish this game on a positive and give it a try.
And we're seeing Guelph giving everything they've got. They're trying to break that line. Really good power back there.
They've had a lot of success on that short side, but once again, for every success, it seems like there's a split decision that maybe isn't the right choice.
Going into contact, but you can see UVic is there to stop them.
Yes, powerful tackling.
Move, please.
Again, we're seeing Guelph going in with their forwards.
Thank you.
Working super hard, breaking that line, forcing the defensive line to back up. We're definitely in the last seconds of the game.
UVic winning the penalty, so again, they can choose what they want to do here, whether they want to end that game or maybe play it out a little bit more.
And as we hear the referee, penalty for holding. And we're going to have UVic kicking the ball out to make it the end of the game as we hear the whistle.
Well, 16-0 there. You can see the celebrations. UVic is thrilled to be going to the final. They've never won the U Sports Championship, so it's now their time to put their mark, and they'll be facing the winner of the next game coming up at 7 o'clock here. Will it be Queens or Laval? Stick around to find out on CBC Sports and CBC Gem.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Well, we've seen quite a match today, Amy.
Absolutely, Paul. It was fantastic. Honestly, great rugby, tactical rugby, as you mentioned.
Yeah. The scoreline doesn't really reflect the quality of the game that we saw, and I think that's something that's been true of a lot of the games we've seen in this tournament. The scoreline might seem a little one-sided, but of course there's a lot of complexities with rugby, and these teams can exit the field with their head held high. But before they do, they will receive the Nike Player of the Game awards for each team. It's a difficult job, I think, for the committee today.
Definitely. We've seen players for both teams really showing up, giving everything they've got. And as we're seeing here, UVic cheering together, we also see Guelph going to the line.
Yes, Guelph, of course, will be playing for bronze on Sunday, and that will be after the 5th place consolation game. So lots of rugby still to come here at Stade Telus in Quebec City. I know for my part, it's going to be, I'll be impressed and excited to see who wins these Player of the Game trophies, because it's very difficult to make a decision. I know I was very much impressed by Kennedy Fisby from the Griffins, as well as some great standout cover plays by Stephanie Savikauskas.
Yeah, Savikauskas really showing up as a 4th-year player from Ontario, really there for the team, and likewise for UVic, we've had a few players.
Yes, it's tough for UVic. There's a lot of dynamism in that team. The forward pack, as we've seen, Tilly and Champion, as well as some great heads-up rugby by McKinnon, keeping the points ticking over. And the try, of course, by Emmy Pierce. So as we listen to the house commentary.
And for Guelph, we have number 9, Natalie Armitage, getting that Nike Player of the Game.
Of course, we might have been a bit biased in our selections there. We're both forwards, or I'm forward at least, paying attention to that kind of stuff, but well played by Armitage under some considerable pressure today, marshalling her troops.
And for UVic, we're seeing here,
I believe that's Price. That's Pierce, rather.
making sure we get that number right.
Well, there you have it. The end of our first semifinal at U Sports Women's Rugby Championship 2023. Stick around at 7 p.m. Eastern. After the teams warm up, we will see the Queen's Golden Gales versus the home team, the U-Laval Rougeard. I've been Paul George with Amy Paget. This has been the U Sports Women's Rugby Championship on CBC Gem and CBC Sports. Stick around.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les Championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, just do it. Faites-le. Fox 40, celebrating more than a decade of the Fox 40 U-Sports Coach of the Year Award Program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U-Sport. Veriburn, medical supply partner of Varsity Athletics since 1979. Partenaire du sport universitaire depuis 1979. Barron, exclusive supplier of U-Sports Championship rings. Le fournisseur exclusif des bagues du championnat U-Sport.